Our presentation topic is the project that was offered to the financial sector. We're talking about and implemented electronic signatures in the banking operation. That means that both the customer and the bank without using the paper. So where we need approval with the electronic signature both from the bank and client side. And this how to provide this form, how to provide the customers with this electronic version, how much it would be protected. So this topic is not national banks or internal services. This is the topic that every and each of you might need you when you go to bank, and whatever transaction you might make over there, and you sign electronically. So at first, commercial banks and in financial sectors, they are ready to 100% of their documents turn from the papers into the electronic version. So it means that it should be so much protected, as much as it is possible actually, to protect this for clients and banks. So we create a system, technical model, which provides the security, and then we started how we had to provide it to our customers, how simply the bank would provide it to the client, and how much it would be useful, this electronic document to client, and how much the client interesting in to have such kind of electronic system when the client wants to pass it, this document, to the third person. So in the bank has access and second possibility. So the third person would receive this document on distance. For example, if you go to bank and make any transaction, and if you need to provide this document to the third person, so our system will provide this without leaving your office, working place. You can provide the document to any third person. This is review how we third party. So we believe we developed something. We moved forward in the electronic system. So if it is considered as only internal, no. We're not talking about commercial banks and communication between bank and the customer. It gives the possibility any person to download or have this electronic document without leaving the office and going down to them to the bank. I will show you how we'll receive the how we have it. Unfortunately, we cannot demonstrate here. Only the place we can demonstrate how this works, where your signature is protected, that's the bank, without any kind of counterfeiting. And for testing today, we created one document. I'll show you a website. Should you sign or should you approve document by your signature? After, automatically on your cell phone, the code will be sent that gives you a chance to using the code. You will receive your document. The code is valid during the 5 days, and throughout these 5 days you can download these documents as many times as you want. So today I will demonstrate I will today. The bank send me a document. I will enter the code in my cell phone. I will select the bank where the transaction was conducted, and I believe we have optimal. This document is not signed by me, but the person who signed this. Well, in the transaction that was conducted in Procurative Bank's website, we visit the program. It is controlled. This website controlled by the Procurative Bank, and now I'm putting the customer, the legal person and the person who bank representatives, and I know only this code. Typical procedure just takes about a second. Unfortunately, I made a mistake. I can't do it again, but the process is the same. So let's try once again with your permission. We tested just recently, and we conducted this operation.
I hope that we can do it this time. Here's the document. As you see, you already have the opportunity, freedom to do this yourself. Now we're going to go to the document which contains the between the client and the credit bank, and this is electronic signature and document which the signature, the bank or the client of the bank who received this document, this would be sent automatically onto the cell phone, and then it'll take you to the site where you can sign this. But if the person who wants, the owner of the signature wants it, so he can decide to receive a code, and then after a few minutes they will have the opportunity to confirm that this transaction. This is the origin. This isn't a document which can be reevaluated, reused. I would do this demonstration for a few more minutes. What kind of signature is contained on this when you do it electric. I will show you this over the course of a few minutes. This is the same document, but I'm just going to simply show you what signature. This is the client signature. This is a visual of the signature. When usually this, as you see, when you complete the signature on paper, but now you're completing the signature electronically, and when you on this signature is this data which is left on paper and then gets transferred to the electronic data, and then it will be stored on this system as well, and it will be on the document. This is a document on which the information which was given by the client will be provided, and what remains, and how can you, and the confirmation of this signature contained in the data. This is a usual, when you sign this document, you have you have the appropriate authorization for this, and this is for the certificate. Besides this, confirmation has been confirmed by a certificate. There's also a timestamp as well. This timestamp is not yet a part of the bank sector in Georgia, but and we have this certificate for this. I'm going to show you the details for in both of these. In both case of time and with the signature, these will both be the same. And this is a more difficult thing. This has been received. This is been received enough, and this is for the seller and the client. This is for.
This is the first signature, client biometric, on the base of the client's biometric. And the second one is the bank signature, that's the legal entity signature, not bank representative, some of the represent sign, but it is signed as the legal body. The signature goes on there. It was elaborated, and it was attached legal power, legality, and in future it will have the more widespread. Just it is in the same let's say the procedure it has, and the bank puts the stamp, which proves that this is the document is created in the bank environment. Let me open up another page. This is the digital signature, also electronic, with the same protecting system. And here I wanted to pay your attention that this signature also stamped by electronic stamp. So this is the structure that in the banking sector we have the protected signature created in a bank when it is valid for us and essential for the bank. So to protect the client's documents, to prevent that from the document from the counterfeiting of the signature. And this is briefly what I wanted to tell you about the signatures. And National Bank, I'll tell you briefly that worked out the different procedures and the legal acts that provides at first documents receiving directly from the bank without going through the National Bank. It should be underlined, because should you enter the National Bank, it will be automatically redirected to the commercial bank. Also, like I mentioned, we elaborated the protection of the content of the document, and the signature is protected and secured. The third point was transferring this document to the third party. Let me go back to the site where we're cooperating with the commercial banks, different structures. One of the state structure is which recognized as a national portal, as a trustable site. This is the audit service of the country. And I would like to show you the partners. We have the memorandum signed between the National Bank and the Audit Service, and also they recognize this electronic signature, and it would be expedient to receive alternative from this site and some other alternative sources we don't recognize for now, because throughout those sites could be something counterfeited or forged. And So the document is valid only in that case if the signature is absolutely coincides with the signature that was signed by the client. One is kept in the bank and one is received by the proper service. And we will hope this will be very interesting. So this is briefly what I wanted to tell you. Thank you very much for your attention.